The Clock Beneath the Sleeping City, Part 2. Those Who Do Not Wake. The iron door did not make a sound when Elias touched it. It waited, as if sound itself had been left behind somewhere above the stone. The chamber breathed. Elias stood between two silences, the slow, patient ticking of the underclock behind him, and the deep, absorbing quiet beyond the iron door. The lantern in his hand flickered softly, its golden light trembling like a thought not yet fully formed. The warmth of Mara's pocket watch lingered in his palm, steady and unsettling, as though it carried a pulse that was not entirely its own. He did not open the door immediately. Instead, he listened. The underclock's pendulum swung again, long, heavy, deliberate. Each movement sent a low vibration through the stone floor, through Elias's legs, into his chest. It was not an aggressive sound. It did not demand. It suggested. It reminded. Tick. Pause. Tick. The rhythm felt ancient, older than urgency, older than fear. Elias turned slightly, just enough to see the massive mechanism behind him. The chains above it swayed almost imperceptibly now, as if settling after a long stretch. The alcove beds remained still. Too still. And yet, the smell of lavender remained. Fresh. Impossible. Elias took a slow breath, letting it fill his lungs the way one does before sleep. Imagine doing the same, breathing in cool stone air, breathing out the weight of the day, feeling time soften around the edges. Then he faced the door. The iron was cold under his fingers, textured with old hammer marks and faint grooves left by hands long gone. Symbols lined its surface, carved with care rather than force. These were not warnings. They were instructions. For those who do not wake. Elias turned the handle. The door opened inward, revealing a corridor unlike the tunnel he had walked before. This passage was wider, smoother, its walls polished by centuries of quiet use. The lantern light slid across stone that reflected faintly, as though the corridor remembered light, and the air changed. Here, it was warmer, softer. It carried a scent that surprised Elias, a mixture of clean linen, dried herbs, and something faintly sweet, like honey left too long in a cupboard. The corridor sloped gently downward. Elias stepped through. The door closed behind him without a sound. For a moment, the underclock's ticking seemed distant, muffled by layers of stone and intention. In its place, another rhythm emerged, not mechanical, but organic, a slow, collective breathing. Elias stopped. He realized, with a tightening in his chest, that the sound was not coming from the walls. It was coming from ahead. The corridor opened into a vast hall, far larger than the chamber above. The ceiling arched high, supported by stone columns carved with the same symbols Elias had seen in the tunnels. Soft light emanated from recessed alcoves along the walls, not from flames, but from something embedded in the stone itself. A gentle glow, steady and warm. And there, filling the hall in careful, orderly rows, were people. They lay on low beds, similar to those in the upper chamber but cleaner, tended. Blankets covered them neatly. Pillows supported their heads. Their faces were calm. They were asleep. Not frozen. Not dead. Sleeping. Elias took a hesitant step forward. The sound he had heard resolved into individual breaths, slow, synchronized, like a choir that had agreed on a single tempo. Each inhale rose softly. Each exhale fell away. He moved between the rows, lantern held low. The sleepers were of all kinds, old men with silvered hair, women whose hands bore the marks of labor, a child, no older than 10, clutching a small wooden toy, a young couple, hands entwined beneath the blanket. None of them stirred. None of them looked troubled. Elias felt a strange, unwanted relief. Then he recognized a face. It took a moment, his mind resisting the shape of the realization, but then it settled with undeniable weight. The baker, the woman who had laughed about tired clocks. She lay on her side, breathing evenly, her expression peaceful. Elias's heart began to pound, short and sharp. He moved faster now, scanning faces. The fisherman, the old man from the pub. More, so many more. People who should have been awake above, walking streets, lighting stoves, opening shops. Here, beneath the city, they slept. Elias whispered, though he did not know why. How long? No one answered, but the air itself seemed to respond, thickening slightly, like a pause between thoughts. At the far end of the hall stood a figure. Unlike the others, this person was seated upright in a high-backed stone chair, hands resting calmly on their knees. Their posture was relaxed, unstrained. Their eyes were open. Mara Quill looked at Elias with quiet familiarity. He stopped. The lantern trembled in his hand. Mara, he breathed. She smiled, not warmly, not coldly, but with the patience of someone who has been waiting a long time. You found it, she said. You found it, she said. Her voice did not echo. It seemed to absorb the space around it. Elias took a step toward her, then another. Your watch, he said, lifting it slightly. It was in the chamber. Yes, Mara replied. I wondered when you'd pick it up. Elias's mind struggled to keep pace. Why are you here? Mara gestured gently to the hall. Same reason they are. They're asleep, Elias said. They shouldn't be. Mara tilted her head. Shouldn't they? Elias felt a surge of anger, quiet, controlled, but sharp. This isn't sleep. They didn't choose this. Mara's eyes softened. Some did. She stood, moving with unhurried grace, and walked between the rows. As she passed, her fingers brushed the edge of a blanket here, adjusted a pillow there. The sleepers did not stir, but their breathing deepened slightly as if responding to her presence. This place, Mara said, is not a prison. Elias followed her, lantern casting long shadows across the floor. Then what is it? Mara stopped beside the child with the wooden toy. She looked down at him, her expression unreadable. It's a pause, she said, a holding breath. Elias clenched his jaw. People don't just pause. They do, Mara replied. Every night. You call it sleep. This is different. Yes, she agreed. Because here, they are not dreaming. Elias frowned. What do you mean? Mara turned to face him fully now. Dreams move time forward, she said. They rearrange memory. They let the mind practice waking. She gestured to the hall. This sleep holds time still. Elias felt cold spread through his limbs. Why? Mara's gaze drifted upward toward the unseen city above. Because the city is tired. Elias laughed once, sharply. Cities don't get tired. People do. Mara's smile returned, faint and sad. That's where you're wrong. She began to walk again, and Elias followed, his steps slower now, heavier. After the great sleep, Mara said, those who woke found a city that had shifted. Not physically, emotionally. People forgot things, lost pieces. The city learned something then. What? Elias asked. That humans don't know when to rest, Mara said. They exhaust themselves and call it living. Elias stopped. So you put them to sleep? Mara turned. The underclock did. You turned it back on? Mara shook her head. No, it turned itself back on, just as it did before. Elias looked around again at the sleeping faces, the calm breathing, the gentle light. How many? He asked quietly. Mara did not answer immediately. Enough, she said at last. Elias swallowed. And how many won't wake? Mara met his gaze. That, she said, depends on what happens next. but in truth, a deeper secret hid behind it. Mara led Elias through a side passage branching off from the hall. This corridor was narrower, its walls etched with dense layers of symbols, overlapping like conversations written over one another. The light here pulsed gently, synchronized with the distant ticking of the underclock. As they walked, Elias noticed something strange. His thoughts were slowing, not blurring, slowing. Each idea arrived fully formed, then lingered before giving way to the next. There was no rush, no pressure to respond quickly. It felt restful, dangerously so. "You feel it," Mara said without looking back. Elias nodded. "It's like the world is padded." Mara smiled. "That's the point." They reached a circular room, smaller than the sleeping hall, but no less intentional. In its center stood a stone table, smooth and worn, with a shallow basin carved into its surface. The basin was filled with a dark liquid that reflected the lantern light like polished obsidian. "What is this?" Elias asked. Mara gestured for him to come closer. "Memory," she said. Elias frowned. "That's not an answer." Mara dipped her fingers into the liquid. When she withdrew them, the substance clung briefly, then fell away, leaving her skin dry. "This is what the city takes when it needs rest," she said. "Not lives, not souls, moments." Elias stared. "You're stealing people's memories?" Mara shook her head. "We're storing them. For what?" "For later," she replied. Elias felt his stomach turn. "You don't get to decide that." Mara's eyes hardened slightly. "Neither do you." She stepped aside, revealing something Elias hadn't seen before. A second basin, smaller, set into the floor. This one was empty. "This," Mara said, "is where you come in." Elias took a step back. "No." Mara's voice remained calm. "You're already part of it." "I won't help you," Elias said. Mara tilted her head. "Help who?" "The underclock. You. This system." Mara regarded him quietly. "Do you think systems care about help?" She gestured around them. "The underclock measures imbalance. When there is too much noise, too much unrest, too much wakefulness, it responds." Elias shook his head. "This is control." Mara stepped closer. "This is mercy." Elias felt the weight of her words settle, heavy and uncomfortable. "Look at them," she said softly. "Look at how peaceful they are." Elias closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them again. "I see escape," he said, "and people who don't know they're choosing it." Mara's gaze softened. Do they know they're choosing anything when they wake up exhausted every day? When they carry grief like a second spine? When they drag themselves through hours that grind them down? Elias did not answer. Mara continued, her voice gentle. "This sleep is a gift, a deep one, deeper than dreams." Elias looked at the empty basin again. "And what do you want from me?" Mara smiled. "Nothing you're not already doing." She reached into her pocket and withdrew a small object, a gear, finely crafted, familiar in its precision. Elias recognized it instantly. "It's from my shop," he said. "Yes," Mara replied. "You made it years ago. You didn't know where it went." She placed the gear gently into Elias's hand. It was warm. "The underclock responds to those who understand time," she said. "It trusts them." Elias clenched his fist around the gear. "Trusts them to do what?" "To listen," Mara said. At that moment, the distant ticking changed. Just slightly. The pause between ticks lengthened. Elias felt it like a shift in gravity. Mara looked up, her expression sharpening. "It's almost time." "For what?" Elias asked. Mara turned toward a final corridor, darker than the others. "For the city to decide," she said. But in truth, a deeper secret hid behind it. The corridor beyond was colder, quieter. The walls here were unadorned, bare stone absorbing light rather than reflecting it. The air smelled of iron and rain, like a storm remembered rather than approaching. As they walked, Elias noticed the sound of breathing fade. The synchronized rhythm of the sleepers did not reach this far. Instead, there was silence. Not empty silence, expectant silence. They reached an opening that overlooked a vast shaft descending into darkness. At its center hung the core of the underclock, a massive vertical mechanism extending far below sight, its components layered, interlocking, alive with slow motion. Chains descended into the dark, gears turned, and at intervals along the shaft, platforms held figures standing upright, eyes open, unmoving. Elias's breath caught. "They're awake," he said. "Yes," Mara replied. "They chose not to sleep." Elias stared at the figures. "What happens to them?" Mara's voice was quiet. "They remember." Elias turned sharply. "Remember what?" Mara looked at him, really looked at him. "Everything," she said. The underclock ticked again. Slower, heavier. The city above shifted in its sleep. And Elias understood with sudden, terrifying clarity that the choice before him was not between action and inaction. It was between forgetting and remembering, between a city that rested by surrendering parts of itself, and a city that woke, carrying every wound forward. Elias felt the gear in his hand pulse once. Mara's voice reached him, steady and calm. "Now," she said, "you have to decide where time goes next." And somewhere far above, a window light flickered out. But when the night deepened, who would decide which memories the city was allowed to keep?